Everyone is watching China. Missiles, ships, Taiwan, headlines, red arrows on maps, panel experts nodding seriously. But here is the uncomfortable truth most people refuse to look at. China is not the United States' biggest weakness. If American power ever fractures, it won't be because an enemy kicked down the door. It will be because the hinges rotted from the inside. Empires don't fall from pressure, they fall from friction. Ask Rome, ask the Soviet Union, ask Britain in 1945. Systems that still look powerful on paper but no longer move smoothly in reality. Decisions that take too long. Trust that costs too much. Coordination that requires 10 committees, 3 acronyms, and a prayer. The real danger isn't loud. It's bureaucratic. It's structural. It's hidden in plain sight. And the most revealing clue isn't a battlefield. This isn't a spy satellite. It's a document. The US National Security Strategy, the NSS. Because strategy documents don't tell you what leaders boast about. They tell you what they're worried about. So let's talk about what the NSS quietly admits and what that tells us about the real power. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tim Suleiman, and this is Eagle's View, where we step back from the noise, zoom out from the headlines, and learn to see the power the way it actually works. Not how it's sold, not how it's shouted, but how it's structured. In the last 2 segments, I introduced you to the power tier framework. We dissected Tier 1, where worldviews and perception shape reality. Then we jumped to Tier 6, the loudest tier, raw military power. Today, we're connecting those dots, using the National Security Strategy as a diagnostic document, not a political manifesto. So what is NSS and what is it not? Well, first and foremost, it's a reset. The National Security Strategy is not a confession. It's not propaganda. It's definitely not neutral. And it's a constrained document. It reveals what policymakers believe is fragile, what requires constant reinforcement, what can no longer be taken for granted, and here is the key insight most people miss. What a strategy emphasizes repeatedly is usually what's under stress. No one writes 40 pages about things that work effortlessly. If everything's great, why write 40 pages about that? What the NSS says out loud is this: China is the pacing challenge. Alliances are vital. Democracy must be defended. Resilience is the watchword. All of that is true at face value. But Eagle's View is not about face value, is it? It's about subtext. And notice something. Notice how often the word resilience appears. Healthy systems do not need to keep reminding themselves that they are resilient. They usually just are. The ones repeating the word resilience like mantra 100 times just demonstrate that they may not actually have it. So let's translate. What the NSS says quietly are the real weak points. Institutional trust is fragile. That's number 1. Legitimacy is no longer free. The NSS is saturated with phrases like democratic resilience, institutional legitimacy, public trust. Translation? Trust is no longer assumed. It must be managed. And when trust erodes, compliance drops. Enforcement costs explode. Coordination slows to a crawl. Power still exists, but it becomes expensive. Remember this phrase: legitimacy is no longer free. Number 2, flow matters more than force. Power that can't move doesn't matter. The document obsessively references supply chain resilience, critical infrastructure, industrial base revitalization. This isn't just about abundance. America has plenty of that. It's about smooth flow. Power that can't move doesn't matter. Logistics is where empires quietly lose wars without ever firing a shot. Number 3, financial speed is outrunning reality. Speed without grounding. Notice the careful language around inclusive growth, economic security, sustainable prosperity. This is not triumph. This is speed mismatch management. Money moves faster than production, faster than governance, faster than social adaptation. That gap doesn't collapse systems overnight. It destabilizes them slowly and silently. Speed without grounding. Number 4, decision paralysis is the elephant in the room. Veto points are gravity. The NSS leans hard on whole of government, whole of society, multilateral coordination. Sounds noble. Translation? Decision-making has too many veto points. Power delayed is power denied. And in geopolitics, speed often matters more than size. China doesn't win by being stronger. It wins by acting faster while others debate. China is not an adversary. It's a useful mirror. It provides a clear external focus, a mobilizing narrative, a distraction from internal friction. China doesn't need to defeat the United States. All it needs is just to wait, observe, avoid catastrophic mistakes, let internal friction compound. That's not strategy by aggression, that's strategy by patience. So, dear friends, let's run 3 scenarios calmly. Scenario 1, neutral drift. Nothing explodes, nothing collapses. Internal friction increases slowly. Decision speed slows. Power becomes harder to apply. The United States remains strong, but less decisive, more reactive, more cautious. The world muddles through. This is the most likely short-term path, unfortunately. Scenario 2, the bad one. Trust continues eroding. Coordination breaks under stress. Crises stack faster than systems can absorb them. Every response costs more and more. Every delay compounds damage. Externally, rivals probe. Internally, confidence fractures, not collapse. Fragmentation. Messy, expensive, and destabilizing. Now, scenario 3, the wise one. This is the hardest path and the most optimistic. Leaders recognize that power isn't just weapons, it's coherence. Systems are simplified, decision loops shortened, trust rebuilt deliberately, not rhetorically. Less noise, more alignment, fewer illusions, not louder strength, quieter control. This is how great powers renew themselves. I understand this can mess with your sleep. I get it. When you realize how fragile global balance really is, anxiety may creep in. Most people respond in one of 2 ways. They doom scroll or they disengage. Both are forms of surrender. This is why I do what I do, and I don't do panic. I'm a coach as well as an analyst. I help people rise above fear, not through ignorance, but through clarity. Peace of mind doesn't come from denial. It comes from understanding the system you are living in. If you need help grounding yourself while staying informed, you will find a link below to book a call. If you want deeper, quieter breakdowns like this, join my inner circle on Patreon. That's where we go layer by layer, deeper and deeper, without algorithms screaming in the background. Scan the QR or use the link below. And if this perspective resonates, subscribe. Not for alerts, but for awareness, for peace of mind. And let's remember, there are no uncontrolled processes in this universe. If you think there are, it's because you don't see the controls yet. If you don't understand the hinges, you don't understand the door. Those who understand systems govern those who do not. Knowledge isn't just power, it's sovereignty. And right now, unfortunately, most people are sleepwalking through their lives and through history. My friends, let's not be those people. This is Eagle's View, where power meets perspective. Think for yourself, rise above the noise, and see you next week.